Welcome to CyberScoop TV. I'm Wyatt Kash, and we're here at the Andrew Mellon Auditorium at CyberTalks. And today we're with Craig Bowman. Craig leads the Advanced Solutions for Public Sector at Verizon. Craig, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
So this has been the year of hallmark hacks, if you will.
It has.
Equifax, SEC, and so forth. And my question would be, what needs to be emphasized at organizations to change the way we think about cybersecurity?
It's a good question. I think the first thing that we need to do is we need to acknowledge that in the cyber arena, we're at war. People are coming to take our information that's valuable to us. They're destroying our brands. And so if we start treating it as a war, then we can look at the footprint like a battlefield. So for Verizon, we own sort of the land, right? The cables that go underground. We're the second largest telecommunication company in the world, China Telecom being the first, of course, but we have satellites and we have wireless, and then we've got underground cables. So we're, as a company, we're fighting this on land, at sea, in the air, and in space. Yeah. And so if we look at that, the network operation and the security operations center experts that we have that are monitoring our own battlefield can see what's happening to our customers and all the resiliency that companies are investing in. The challenge is they don't see the attack coming.
Right.
And so they don't know if the things that they're investing in actually have the resiliency they need to withstand an attack until the attack happens. So I think there's going to have to be more partnership in the future between companies like Verizon and customers that want to protect their brand, because it's the only way that you can get a full battlefield picture, the information that you need to see what's happening across the globe, to know if the investments that you're making are actually good investments. We deal with this every day. So our network, we are constantly protecting our own network from cyber attacks, and we can use that information to make really good, give good advice to companies about where they should be making their investments.
So building on that, we've generally been reactive to cyber attacks. How do we get organizations to be more proactive, and what are a couple simple suggestions you might offer to move in that direction?
Good question. So first of all, you need to have a plan. So many of the customers that I meet with, they talk about what their investments have been, their end of life equipment. All of that I understand as part of the situation that people are in. But you have to start with what is your current risk profile today, and then plot where you want to be with your risk profile. What is the acceptable risk for your organization based on the kinds of information that you have, the attack profile that you have to the cyber attackers. And then look at the difference between the two, and then plot a course of how you're going to get from where you are today to where you want to be, understanding that there is no zero risk, right? There's always risk. But you have to be willing to accept the risk, and then you can communicate that to the board of directors. If you're in the government, you can communicate that to the leadership to say, we aren't going to have perfect security, but we're going to go from where we are today to this location in the next 2 years. And then work with partners, people that have the capability and the intelligence and the information to help you make the right investments to get to that risk profile.
Well, another question, what we hear often in government, and I'm sure it's true in the commercial market, about the need for more workforce and cybersecurity talent. So what needs to happen in that regard to attract and train people to meet the needs for today?
How about if we'll start treating our cyber analysts like the NFL players, not currently in the news. But the reality is that the NFL starts recruiting the top players when they're in high school. And yet we start recruiting top security people once they graduate from college. So as a community, if we want top performers in the industry, we need to start looking to the high schools, partnering with high schools to make sure that we're training really good cybersecurity experts for the kids that are interested in that from the moment they get into high school. And then when they get into college, of course, it'll help facilitate the supply that we need, because we've got a huge demand with no supply. Just one other thing, I'd like to see the industry embrace women more in cybersecurity. I think that women for a long time have not felt as welcome in the cyber industry, and we need to make an concerted effort to invest in young ladies in high school and college so that they're encouraged to enter this field. It's not only needed for the industry, because we need that capability and the intellect of very bright and young women, but also I've got a 6-year-old daughter, and I don't want her to feel shut out from an industry that is going to be so critically important in the future.
And lastly, cybersecurity has tended to carry a negative overtone. What are some of the positive things about the evolving cybersecurity market? What are some of the bright spots on the horizon as you look at it?
I think the thing that really excites me right now is the fusion of information, the battlefield information, gathering all that information with capabilities that are just baked into the battlefield. So that's the first thing. So I'll give you an example. So recently we partnered with Cisco. And Cisco has just a phenomenal product that they have called DNS, it's like a DNS protection, a DNS enterprise. So we took the umbrella platform that Cisco has and we fused it together with our battlefield intelligence, and we provide that now as a shield over top of customers that's basically on the network. So a customer that we're seeing something happen on this part of the battlefield, we can update that shield around the customer and we can protect them from that exact attack happening from that shield. And that's a partnership that we've made with Cisco. Another area that I think is going to be critically important that gets me excited is artificial intelligence. So the automation of that battlefield intelligence that we're gathering to automate resiliency in the battlefield itself, rather than having to have customers go buy products, go to RSA, try to figure, go to Black Hat, try to figure out the right product to buy, and then have them try to figure out how it all works together. I think that AI and the partnerships with some of these vendors and applying all that to the battlefield itself is something that I see in the future for Verizon, and something that I think is going to be amazing for resiliency in the cyber warfare.
Well, Craig Bowman, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
For more of our videos, look for our additional videos on our YouTube channel, and for more coverage on cybersecurity, you can go to cyberscoop.com. I'm Wyatt Kash. Thanks for watching.